Asexual reproduction is a type of reproduction where only one parent is required to produce an offspring. These offspring look identical to the parent. Can you name some organisms which reproduce through asexual reproduction? Well, did you know that bread mold, trees, potatoes, and tulip bulbs are just some examples of organisms that produce through asexual reproduction? There are a variety of types of asexual reproduction. The first type is called binary fission. In this type of asexual reproduction, a single parent cell will reproduce itself and divide into two equal parts. Most commonly, this type of asexual reproduction occurs with bacteria such as E. coli. The second type of asexual reproduction is called budding. Budding occurs when part of the cell pushes outward to form a growth or a bud. The bud will then pinch off from the parent cell to form a new organism which is identical to the parent. For example, such organisms that use budding are yeast, hydra, and sponges. The third type of asexual reproduction is called fragmentation. In fragmentation, some animals or plants can reproduce asexually from fragments, such as the starfish or the Japanese knotwood plant. With a starfish, you can probably remember, if you've ever been out in the water, that you can take a starfish, you can cut off one of its arms, and it won't die. The starfish whose arm was cut off will grow back a new arm, and the arm that was thrown away will grow a new starfish. The fourth type of asexual reproduction is called vegetative reproduction. This occurs when special cells, usually in the stem and root, divide repeatedly to form structures that will develop into a new plant, such as an onion or strawberry runners. And the fifth type of asexual reproduction is called spore formation. A spore is a reproductive cell that grows into a new individual by mitosis. Most commonly, we've all seen bread mold. This is an example of spore formation. Spores are lightweight and can rely on wind and water to carry the spores away from the parent cell. Can you think of why it's important to carry the spores away from the parent? Take a few seconds and jot down your answer. On page 161, there is a table that discusses the advantages and disadvantages of asexual reproduction. Turn to page 161 and write in those advantages and disadvantages in this chart or in your exercise book, and we'll discuss the chart in class. To clue up section 5.2 as well as all of chapter 5, please make sure that you read through the section if you haven't already done so. After you've read through the section and watched the video, please complete the following questions on page 165, 166, and 167.